So last week we worked on scraping back the topsoil, building out a road, getting ready for gravel, and then finally, today is the day we're gonna be graveling this entire driveway today. So I don't exactly know when the gravel truck is arriving with the first load, but as we walk around this morning looking around, just seeing how active wildlife is, it's pretty surprising. You think it might deter deer and all of the other wildlife, all of the excavation and work that we've been doing, but not at all. We had some rain the last couple of days, and seeing all of the deer tracks all throughout this area is really exciting, and there's a lot of happy squirrels running around. All right, I can hear Billy coming down our driveway. If you guys watch the newbies, I kind of feel like Crusoe and Sawyer right now. Anytime a digger shows up, super excited to get this road finished, and just really honored to be working with Billy, who has just an unbelievable amount of experience with regards to building these roads. He's teaching me exactly what we need to be doing, and without him, honestly, I would be lost right now. It's gonna be quite the treat to watch him work because of his experience. Man, just like that, he's laid out a beautiful road with hardly any work left to do for it. But the way he tailgate spreads that makes my life so easy, which I'm thankful for because I've never made a road before. I don't know how to flatten things out and smooth it out precisely. I don't have a land planer yet. I'd love to get one and probably should. But straight away to see the quality of this makes me feel really, really good. Okay, so we just finished spreading out the first load of gravel that has been delivered. It's actually the 304 gravel we're gonna use that for our base. So it's kind of a mix between really fine gravel and some thicker stones. It has just recently rained, so the ground is a little bit wet, and we're hoping that that will actually help solidify the road so that it really gets in there. Right now, Brady is driving back and forth with the skid steer so that he can kind of help get that pushed down, flattened out, and ready for the next layer. Of all the things that I've done with the skid steer, that's the hardest. It's like a lot easier to just go plow trees down or dig something up, but to make it nice and flat and smooth, it's gonna take some practice, but I'm pretty pleased with how it's turned out. So we're gonna be switching gears here for a little while. Hopefully you can hear me. He's gonna be back in the afternoon with another load of the gravel. But for now, we came back to this area, which is where we are going to be building the tiny house, and all of this stuff needs to be cleared out. We have a bunch of trees that need to be taken down, and we'll be bringing that into the clearing that we worked on before, and that's where we're going to store that. We're going to make a burn pile so that we can let the logs dry out and things like that, so that we can use it for firewood in the future. So I need to take all of this debris over to the field, drop it off in a safe place that can be burned. Eventually it'll dry out, and then we'll have a nice little bonfire out here in the field. This spot that we picked out for the tiny house is really fantastic. There's something quite special about it. We're gonna not really take down too many trees because there's already a nice little clearing. I think we have to bring down just a couple of really tiny dead ones, but there is a lot of debris that was left over here. Lots of pallets, lots of random things piled up, as well as the outhouse. So we're just kind of scooping everything up and moving it over to the field. All right, it's time to knock over this outhouse. It hasn't been used in a while, so it's all right, right? Guess as to how to handle this is literally just to push it over, but it's just crumbling. No, don't crumble. And now I gotta pick it up and carry it. How am I gonna pick this thing up? Like this, because the base is gonna be the strongest part. Yes! Oh no, it's too rotten. Try to push it into the clearing and then try to pick it up, but it's just gonna crumble. I've picked it all up. It's barely hanging on though. I don't know if I can make it out to the clearing. Oh, this is hilarious. All right, the problem now is that the entire thing covers my entire field of view, and I'm just going blind. Careful. Ah! All right, we're clear. can't believe I got it mostly in one piece.
I know, that's crazy.
No, it stayed together. That's hilarious. Oh, it's also disgusting.
It is disgusting.
It is so nice to get that thing out of here. Bradey just ran to get some gloves because a few pieces were left behind, so we're gonna have to pick those up by hand. So now the fun work begins. Bradey's gonna take down some of these big trees behind me here, which is very exciting. This place is gonna open up quite a bit once we get these trees out of here.
A lot easier than a chainsaw, especially for the dead trees. There's 2 more sections of this dead tree that need to come down, but just to be safe, you should probably stand over there because one of them, I'm not sure what it's gonna do.
I'm not sure where to go to be safe in this situation. I'm like running around trying to figure it out.
So none of these trees provide any value whatsoever from a milling up perspective or even a firewood perspective. They're dead, they're too small for firewood. They're too small to mill, and they're too big to mulch up with the deck mulcher. So I think the easiest way to clear this out is to just chop it down, scoop it up, and make a nice little burn pile. All right, so I just got a text from Billy saying he's on his way back with another load of gravel. He's gonna bring another 3 or 4 today, and that should be all we need to do this section of the driveway. So I'm just now hustling back to where we're doing the driveway. I've got the bucket on. It's time to spread out some more gravel. Man, that's wildly impressive. He timed that perfectly, ran out of gravel just at the end of where he needed to run out of gravel at. Man, it pays to work with people with this much experience.
I'm just moving it with my feet while I wait for you with the skid steer. It's fun.
So in addition to building out the road, we also need to make a turnaround spot because pretty soon we'll have deliveries with large trucks, even potentially semi-trucks in the future. They all need a large area to turn around. So that last load was to cover up the turnaround. And then he's bringing 1 or 2 more today. So really quick, I just want to take a brief moment to thank our channel sponsor, Delete Me. You guys know how annoying it is to get those really obnoxious spam phone calls or those phishing emails. Things are getting a little bit out of control right now, but the best way to fight against that is to have all of your information removed so that people can't find you to begin with. Delete Me is a hands-free service that removes your personal information from hundreds of data brokers and people search sites, reducing the risk of your personal information ending up in the wrong hands. Unfortunately, data brokers can collect all kinds of personal information about you and sell it off to whoever might want it. Things like your name, your home address, your cell phone number, your email address, and they can sell this information to whoever might want it, increasing your risk for identity theft, scams, and phishing attempts. Within 7 days of joining, you'll get a privacy report showing where all of your information is left public, and then Delete Me will go to work having that removed. Delete Me has been in business for over 15 years now, was recently named by Wirecutter as the #1 data removal service, and we've been trusting them personally for over 2 years now. So if you'd also like to join Delete Me, you can go to joindeleteme.com/Voyagers to get 20% off today, or by scanning the QR code on screen now, or simply enter the coupon code Voyagers at checkout. But with that, thank you so much to Delete Me for sponsoring today's video. All right, so he's off to get another load. It's about a 30-minute round trip, so I've got 30 minutes to get this thing all smoothed out, ready for the next round.
All right, we are back into the forest where we are going to be putting the tiny house, and we're going to continue clearing out this area. I think next Bradey is going to be picking up some of these big trees and taking them into the clearing. As Bradey has been pulling some of these trees out, I'm actually seeing this metal structure inside of here. Another random metal structure on this property. I'm interested to see like what it actually is when we get in there.
Man, on a morning like today, you realize that fall is finally here. That little bit of chill in the air, which is lovely
so
for
nice.
working, and also seeing some of the leaves turning and falling. This place is about to be just gorgeous once the leaves fully turn and start to fall on the ground. So yesterday we nearly completed both projects of graveling off the road, as well as clearing the area that we're gonna start building the tiny house. Today there's just a little bit more to spread out the last little bit of gravel. He wasn't able to tailgate spread that because of how the terrain was and the curvature of the road. So he dumped it all in one spot, and now I just have to run back and forth to spread out all of that gravel and finish off this road once and for all. Well, for being our first attempt at building a road, I am super, super pleased with this.
It looks really good.
I was nervous for sure because this takes some skill. It's definitely not the most beautiful road ever, but with a little bit more practice, another layer of gravel, it's gonna be nice and polished and smooth. Heather was commenting earlier that she was pleased with the results.
Yeah, I am. I was a little bit, I don't know. I don't love gravel roads, okay?
Yeah.
I really don't, but I'm really pleased with how this has turned out. It's actually really comfortable to drive on. It doesn't feel bad.
I had the same
it's
feeling.
Good. I'm glad.
We had
Happy.
a long conversation with Billy about what type of gravel road, if we should do 57s, which tend to move around a lot, which is not very nice to drive over. This is 3 or 4s with the 3/4 inch chunk gravel, I believe is what it is, with all those fines. Yeah. It locks it together. Once you drive over a little while, it'll compact as hard, nearly as hard as concrete. It'll kind of feel like that. So overall, very, very pleased with it. So yes, the road doesn't go all the way back into the forest where we will be building ultimately. We'll have to tackle that section at a phase 2 later down the road once we clear some of the trees out. But for now, this will allow us to get delivery trucks in and out and be able to have a nice, comfortable place to park as we're working. All right, so the clearing where we're building the tiny house is almost completely finished. We just have a little bit more to take off of that massive tree that's dead and dying. And as we get closer to the base, as I'm cutting through it, it actually seems like some of it might be millable. I think this is an oak tree, one of the only oak trees that I've seen on the property. We'll get my dad here soon. He's the one that actually knows all about this. He'll tell me what's what, but he's gonna be coming and helping us mill some of the lumber, cutting down some of the trees that we have to for clearing the spot for the long-term house, as well as milling that. So that'll be an awesome learning experience. What I don't understand is you look at the surface of this and it's like completely rotten. You think you could just snap it. But on the inside, this oak is like super solid.
So we can use it for some furniture or something?
I don't know about furniture, but certainly we could mill this into really hefty beams to like build stuff for outside, like pole barns and that kind of stuff. I don't know. It's kind of wild. Like,
it's a huge tree.
This is bigger than my chainsaw should be cutting, especially when we get to this base.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I'm gonna try, but I don't think it's gonna do it. It's gonna take a while.
Well, there's only one way to find out, right?
Yeah, so the problem is that, I mean, this is a decent chainsaw, but this is a hefty tree. Back at the base, it's twice the length of the chainsaw, so I'm not gonna be able to get all the way to the base, and even cutting here, which is a good, I don't know, 20 feet from the base, I'm gonna have to cut from both sides to get through it. But surprisingly, even though it's all dead and very rotten on the outside, on the inside, I'm shocked how good the quality of the wood is. Looking at this tree, you'd think it was like completely rotten all the way through. But that's solid. That's some
That's
seriously
really
nice oak. Man,
That's crazy.
to see how big it goes all the way back. When you get back to the base, it's I'd say a 4-foot trunk. That's wild.
This is the tree that I stood next to, right?
Yeah, the root base is like 5.5 feet.
The root base is taller than me. It's not more than 5.5 feet. I'm more than 5.5 feet.
I'm not even confident I can pick it up. It's probably bigger diameter than the grapples can handle.
There's only one way to find out, right? Let's see.
Well, it just started pouring out of nowhere and the winds have changed dramatically. I can feel it really cooling down as fall is finally here. But this week there's a lot to celebrate with this clearing behind me now finished, and the fact that we built nearly a 700-800 foot road by ourselves with no experience whatsoever. That's a lot to celebrate. But I also got a really exciting phone call, and my dad is coming now starting Monday morning next week, which is a big change from what we were originally planning. But to have him here to help us mill lumber to build this house, it's gonna be a big week, very exciting. But with that, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week.